Proverbs chapter 16.
We humans make plans, but the Lord has the final word. We may think we know what is right, but the Lord is the judge of our motives. Share your plans with the Lord, and you will succeed. The Lord has a reason for everything He does, and He lets evil people live only to be punished. The Lord doesn't like anyone who is conceited. You can be sure they will be punished. If we truly love God, our sins will be forgiven. If we show Him respect, we will keep away from sin. When we please the Lord, even our enemies make friends with us. It's better to be honest and poor than to be dishonest and rich. We make our own plans, but the Lord decides where we will go. Rulers speak with authority and are never wrong. The Lord watches to see if we are fair or if we cheat others. Justice makes rulers powerful. They should hate evil and like honesty and truth. An angry ruler can put you to death, so be wise. Don't make one angry. When a ruler is happy and pleased with you, it's like refreshing rain, and you will live. It's much better to be wise and sensible than to be rich. God's people avoid evil ways, and they protect themselves by watching where they go. Too much pride will destroy you. You are better off to be humble and poor than to get rich from what you take by force. If you know what you're doing, you will prosper. God blesses everyone who trusts Him. Good judgment proves that you are wise, and if you speak kindly, you can teach others. Good sense is a fountain that gives life, but fools are punished by their foolishness. You can persuade others if you are wise and speak sensibly. Kind words are like honey. They cheer you up and make you feel strong.
Sometimes what seems right is really a road to death. The hungrier you are, the harder you work. Worthless people plan trouble. Even their words burn like a flaming fire. Gossip is no good. It causes hard feelings and comes between friends. Don't trust violent people. They will mislead you to do the wrong thing. When someone winks or grins behind your back, trouble is on the way.
Gray hair is a glorious crown worn by those who have lived right. Controlling your temper is better than being a hero who captures a city. We make our own decisions, but the Lord alone determines what happens.
Proverbs chapter 17.
A dry crust of bread eaten in peace and quiet is better than a feast eaten where everyone argues. A wise slave will be placed in charge of a no-good child, and that slave will be given the same inheritance that each child receives. Silver and gold are tested by flames of fire. Our thoughts are tested by the Lord.
Troublemakers listen to troublemakers, and liars listen to liars. By insulting the poor, you insult your Creator. You will be punished if you make fun of someone in trouble.
Grandparents are proud of their grandchildren, and children should be proud of their parents.
It sounds strange for a fool to talk sensibly, but it's even worse for a ruler to tell lies. A bribe works miracles like a magic charm that brings good luck. You will keep your friends if you forgive them, but you will lose your friends if you keep talking about what they did wrong. A sensible person accepts correction, but you can't beat sense into a fool. Cruel people want to rebel, and so vicious attackers will be sent against them. A bear robbed of her cubs is far less dangerous than a stubborn fool. You will always have trouble if you are mean to those who are good to you. The start of an argument is like a water leak, so stop it before real trouble breaks out. The Lord doesn't like those who defend the guilty or condemn the innocent. Why should fools have money for an education when they refuse to learn?
A friend is there to help in any situation, and relatives are born to share our troubles.
It's stupid to guarantee someone else's loan. The wicked and the proud love trouble and keep begging to be hurt. Dishonesty does you no good, and telling lies will get you in trouble. It's never pleasant to be the parent of a fool and have nothing but pain.
If you are cheerful, you feel good.
If you are sad, you hurt all over. Crooks accept secret bribes to keep justice from being done.
Anyone with wisdom knows what makes good sense.
But fools can never make up their minds. Foolish children bring sorrow and pain to their parents. It isn't fair to punish the innocent and those who do right.
It makes a lot of sense to be a person of few words and to stay calm. Even fools seem smart when they are quiet.
Proverbs chapter 18.
It's selfish and stupid to think only of yourself and to sneer at people who have sense. Fools have no desire to learn. Instead, they would rather give their own opinion. Wrongdoing leads to shame and disgrace.
Words of wisdom are a stream that flows from a deep fountain.
It's wrong to favor the guilty and keep the innocent from getting justice. Foolish talk will get you into a lot of trouble. Saying foolish things is like setting a trap to destroy yourself. There's nothing so delicious as the taste of gossip. It melts in your mouth. Being lazy is no different from being a troublemaker.
The Lord is a mighty tower where his people can run for safety.
The rich think their money is a wall of protection.
Pride leads to destruction. Humility leads to honor. It's stupid and embarrassing to give an answer before you listen. Being cheerful helps when you are sick, but nothing helps when you give up. Everyone with good sense wants to learn. A gift will get you in to see anyone. You may think you have won your case in court until your opponent speaks. Drawing straws is one way to settle a difficult case.
Making up with a friend you have offended is harder than breaking through a city wall. Make your words good. You will be glad you did. Words can bring death or life. Talk too much, and you will eat everything you say.
A man's greatest treasure is his wife. She is a gift from the Lord.
The poor must beg for help, but the rich can give a harsh reply. Some friends don't help.
But a true friend is closer than your own family.
Proverbs chapter 19.
It's better to be poor and live right than to be a stupid liar. Willingness and stupidity don't go well together. If you are too eager, you will miss the road. We are ruined by our own stupidity, though we blame the Lord. The rich have many friends. The poor have none. Dishonest witnesses and liars won't escape punishment. Everyone tries to be friends of those who can help them. If you are poor, your own relatives reject you, and your friends are worse. When you really need them, they are not there. Do yourself a favor by having good sense. You will be glad you did. Dishonest witnesses and liars will be destroyed. It isn't right for a fool to live in luxury or for a slave to rule in place of a king.
It's wise to be patient and show what you are like by forgiving others. An angry king roars like a lion, but when a king is pleased, it's like dew on the crops.
Foolish children bring disgrace to their fathers. A nagging wife goes on and on like the drip, drip, drip of the rain.
You may inherit all you own from your parents, but a sensible wife is a gift from the Lord.
If you are lazy and sleep your time away, you will starve.
Obey the Lord's teachings and you will live. Disobey and you will die. Caring for the poor is lending to the Lord, and you will be well repaid. Correct your children before it's too late. If you don't punish them, trouble will come their way.
People with bad tempers are always in trouble, and they need help over and over again.
Pay attention to advice and accept correction so you can live sensibly. We may make a lot of plans, but the Lord will do what He has decided. What matters most is loyalty. It's better to be poor than to be a liar. Showing respect to the Lord brings true life. If you do it, you can relax without fear of danger.
Some people are too lazy to lift a hand to feed themselves. Stupid fools learn good sense by seeing others punished. A sensible person learns by being corrected. Disgraceful children rob their father and chase their mother away. If you stop learning, you will forget what you already know. A lying witness makes fun of the court system, and criminals think crime is really delicious. A stupid fool should expect to be punished.
Proverbs chapter 20.
It isn't smart to get drunk. Drinking makes a fool of you and leads to fights. An angry ruler is like a roaring lion. Make either one angry and you are dead. It makes you look good when you avoid a fight. Only fools love to quarrel. If you are too lazy to plow, don't expect a harvest.
Someone's thoughts may be as deep as the ocean, but if you are smart, you will discover them. There are many who say, "You can trust me," but can they be trusted? Good people live right, and God blesses the children who follow their example. When rulers decide cases, they weigh the evidence. Can any of us really say, "My thoughts are pure and my sins are gone"? Two things the Lord hates are dishonest scales and dishonest measures. The good or bad that children do shows what they are like. Hearing and seeing are gifts from the Lord.
If you sleep all the time, you will starve. If you get up and work, you will have enough food. Everyone likes to brag about getting a bargain.
Sensible words are better than gold or jewels.
You deserve to lose your coat if you loan it to someone to guarantee payment for the debt of a stranger. The food you get by cheating may taste delicious, but it turns to gravel. Be sure you have sound advice before making plans or starting a war. Stay away from gossips. They tell everything. Children who curse their parents will go to the land of darkness long before their time. Getting rich quick may turn out to be a curse. Don't try to get even. Trust the Lord and He will help you. The Lord hates dishonest scales and dishonest weights, so don't cheat. How can we know what will happen to us when the Lord alone decides? Don't fall into the trap of making promises to God before you think.
A wise ruler severely punishes every criminal. Our inner thoughts are a lamp from the Lord, and they search our hearts. Rulers are protected by God's mercy and loyalty, but they must be merciful for their kingdoms to last. Young people take pride in their strength, but the gray hairs of wisdom are even more beautiful. A severe beating can knock all of the evil out of you.
Proverbs chapter 21.
The Lord controls rulers just as He determines the course of rivers. We may think we are doing the right thing, but the Lord always knows what is in our hearts. Doing what is right and fair pleases the Lord more than an offering.
Evil people are proud and arrogant, but sin is the only crop they produce. If you plan and work hard, you will have plenty. If you hurry to get rich, you will end up poor. Cheating to get rich is a foolish dream and no less than suicide. You destroy yourself by being cruel and violent and refusing to live right.
All crooks are liars, but anyone who is innocent will do right.
It's better to stay outside on the roof of your house than to live inside with a nagging wife. Evil people want to do wrong, even to their friends. An ignorant fool learns by seeing others punished.
A sensible person learns by being instructed. God is always fair. He knows what the wicked do and will punish them.
If you won't help the poor, don't expect to be heard when you cry out for help. A secret bribe will save you from someone's fierce anger.
When justice is done, good citizens are glad and crooks are terrified.
If you stop using good sense, you will find yourself in the grave. Heavy drinkers and others who live only for pleasure will lose all they have. God's people will escape, but all who are wicked will pay the price. It's better out in the desert than at home with a nagging, complaining wife. Be sensible and store up precious treasures. Don't waste them like a fool.
If you try to be kind and good, you will be blessed with life and goodness and honor. One wise person can defeat a city full of soldiers and capture their fortress. Watching what you say can save you a lot of trouble.
If you are proud and conceited, everyone will say, "You're a snob." If you want too much and are too lazy to work, it could be fatal. but people who obey God are always generous. The Lord despises the offerings of wicked people with evil motives. If you tell lies in court, you are done for. Only a reliable witness can do the job. Wicked people bluff their way, but God's people think before they take a step. No matter how much you know or what plans you make, you can't defeat the Lord. Even if your army has horses ready for battle, the Lord will always win.
Proverbs chapter 22.
A good reputation and respect are worth much more than silver and gold. The rich and the poor are all created by the Lord. When you see trouble coming, don't be stupid and walk right into it. Be smart and hide. Respect and serve the Lord. Your reward will be wealth, a long life, and honor. Crooks walk down a road full of thorny traps. Stay away from there. Teach your children right from wrong, and when they are grown, they will still do right.
The poor are ruled by the rich, and those who borrow are slaves of moneylenders. Troublemakers get in trouble, and their terrible anger will get them nowhere.
The Lord blesses everyone who freely gives food to the poor.
Arguments and fights will come to an end if you chase away those who insult others.
The king is the friend of all who are sincere and speak with kindness. The Lord watches over everyone who shows good sense, but he frustrates the plans of deceitful liars.
Don't be so lazy that you say, "If I go to work, a lion will eat me." The words of a bad woman are like a deep pit. If you make the Lord angry, you will fall right in. All children are foolish, but firm correction will make them change. Cheat the poor to make profit, or give gifts to the rich. Either way, you lose. Here are some sayings of people with wisdom, so listen carefully as I teach. You will be glad that you know these sayings and can recite them. I am teaching them today so that you may trust the Lord. I have written 30 sayings filled with sound advice. You can trust them completely to give you the right words for those in charge of you.
Don't take advantage of the poor or cheat them in court. The Lord is their defender, and what you do to them he will do to you. Don't make friends with anyone who has a bad temper. You might turn out like them and get caught in a trap. Don't guarantee to pay someone else's debt. If you don't have the money, you might lose your bed. Don't move a boundary marker set up by your ancestors.
If you do your job well, you will work for a ruler and never be a slave.
Proverbs chapter 24.
Don't be jealous of crooks or want to be their friends. All they think about and talk about is violence and cruelty.
Use wisdom and understanding to establish your home. Let good sense fill the rooms with priceless treasures. Wisdom brings strength, and knowledge gives power. Battles are won by listening to advice and making a lot of plans.
Wisdom is too much for fools. Their advice is no good. No one but troublemakers think up trouble. Everyone hates senseless fools who think up ways to sin. Don't give up and be helpless in times of trouble. Don't fail to rescue those who are doomed to die. Don't say, "I didn't know it." God can read your mind. He watches each of us and knows our thoughts. And God will pay us back for what we do. Honey is good for you, my children, and it tastes sweet. Wisdom is like honey for your life. If you find it, your future is bright. Don't be a cruel person who attacks good people and hurts their families. Even if good people fall 7 times, they will get back up. But when trouble strikes the wicked, that's the end of them. Don't be happy to see your enemies trip and fall down. The Lord will find out and be unhappy. Then he will stop being angry with them. Don't let evil people worry you or make you jealous. They will soon be gone, like the flame of a lamp that burns out.
My children, you must respect the Lord and the King, and you must not make friends with anyone who rebels against either of them. Who knows what sudden disaster the Lord or a ruler might bring? Here are some more sayings that make good sense. When you judge, you must be fair. If you let the guilty go free, people of all nations will hate and curse you. But if you punish the guilty, things will go well for you and you will prosper. Giving an honest answer is a sign of true friendship. Get your fields ready and plant your crops before starting a home. Don't accuse anyone who isn't guilty. Don't ever tell a lie or say to someone, "I'll get even with you." I once walked by the field and the vineyard of a lazy fool. Thorns and weeds were everywhere, and the stone wall had fallen down. When I saw this, it taught me a lesson. Sleep a little, doze a little, fold your hands and twiddle your thumbs. Suddenly poverty hits you and everything is gone.
Proverbs chapter 25.
Here are some more of Solomon's Proverbs. They were copied by the officials of King Hezekiah of Judah. God is praised for being mysterious. Rulers are praised for explaining mysteries. Who can fully understand the thoughts of a ruler? They reach beyond the sky and go deep in the earth. Silver must be purified before it can be used to make something of value. Evil people must be removed before anyone can rule with justice. Don't try to seem important in the court of a ruler. It's better for the ruler to give you a high position than for you to be embarrassed in front of royal officials. Be sure you are right before you sue someone, or you might lose your case and be embarrassed. When you and someone else can't get along, don't gossip about it. Others will find out, and your reputation will then be ruined.
The right word at the right time is like precious gold set in silver. Listening to good advice is worth much more than jewelry made of gold. A messenger you can trust is just as refreshing as cool water in summer.
Broken promises are worse than rain clouds that don't bring rain. Patience and gentle talk can convince a ruler and overcome any problem. Eating too much honey can make you sick. Don't visit friends too often, or they will get tired of it and start hating you. Telling lies about friends is like attacking them with clubs and swords and sharp arrows. A friend you can't trust in times of trouble is like having a toothache or a sore foot. Singing to someone in deep sorrow is like pouring vinegar in an open cut. If your enemies are hungry, give them something to eat. And if they are thirsty, give them something to drink. This will be the same as piling burning coals on their heads, and the Lord will reward you. As surely as rain blows in from the north, anger is caused by cruel words. It's better to stay outside on the roof of your house than to live inside with a nagging wife. Good news from far away refreshes like cold water when you are thirsty. When a good person gives in to the wicked, it's like dumping garbage in a stream of clear water. Don't eat too much honey or always want praise. Losing self-control leaves you as helpless as a city without a wall.
Proverbs chapter 26.
Expecting snow in summer and rain in the dry season makes more sense than honoring a fool. A curse you don't deserve will take wings and fly away like a sparrow or a swallow. Horses and donkeys must be beaten and bridled, and so must fools. Don't make a fool of yourself by answering a fool. But if you answer any fools, show how foolish they are, so they won't feel smart. Sending a message by a fool is like chopping off your foot just to spite yourself. A fool with words of wisdom is like an athlete with legs that can't move. Are you going to honor a fool? Why not shoot a slingshot with the rock tied tight? A thorn bush waved around in the hand of a drunkard is no worse than a proverb in the mouth of a fool. It's no smarter to shoot arrows at every passerby than it is to hire a bunch of worthless nobodies. Dogs return to eat their vomit just as fools repeat their foolishness. There is more hope for a fool than for someone who says, "I'm really smart." Don't be lazy and keep saying, "There's a lion outside." A door turns on its hinges, but a lazy person just turns over in bed. Some of us are so lazy that we won't lift a hand to feed ourselves. A lazy person says, "I am smarter than everyone else." It's better to take hold of a mad dog by the ears than to take part in someone else's argument. It's no crazier to shoot sharp and flaming arrows than to cheat someone and say, "I was only fooling." Where there is no fuel, a fire goes out. Where there is no gossip, arguments come to an end. Troublemakers start trouble, just as sparks and fuel start a fire. There is nothing so delicious as the taste of gossip. It melts in your mouth. Hiding hateful thoughts behind smooth talk is like coating a clay pot with a cheap glaze. The pleasant talk of an enemy hides more evil plans than can be counted, so don't believe a word. Everyone will see through those evil plans. If you dig a pit, you will fall in. If you start a stone rolling, it will roll back on you. Watch out for anyone who tells lies and flatters. They are out to get you.
Proverbs chapter 27.
Don't brag about tomorrow. Each day brings its own surprises. Don't brag about yourself. Let others praise you. Stones and sand are heavy, but trouble caused by a fool is a much heavier load. An angry person is dangerous, but a jealous person is even worse. A truly good friend will openly correct you. You can trust a friend who corrects you, but kisses from an enemy are nothing but lies. If you have had enough to eat, honey doesn't taste good, but if you are really hungry, you will eat anything. When you are far from home, you feel like a bird without a nest. The sweet smell of incense can make you feel good, but true friendship is better still. Don't desert an old friend of your family or visit your relatives when you are in trouble. A friend nearby is better than relatives far away.
My child, show good sense. Then I will be happy and able to answer anyone who criticizes me. Be cautious and hide when you see danger. Don't be stupid and walk right into trouble. You deserve to lose your coat if you loan it to someone to guarantee payment for the debt of a stranger. A loud greeting early in the morning is the same as a curse. The steady dripping of rain and the nagging of a wife are one and the same. It's easier to catch the wind or hold olive oil in your hand than to stop a nagging wife.
Just as iron sharpens iron, friends sharpen the minds of each other. Take care of a tree, and you will eat its fruit. Look after your master, and you will be praised. You see your face in a mirror and your thoughts in the minds of others.
Death and the grave are never satisfied, and neither are humans. Gold and silver are tested in a red-hot furnace, but we are tested by praise. No matter how hard you beat a fool, you can't pound out the foolishness. You should take good care of your sheep and goats, because wealth and honor don't last forever.
After the hay is cut and the new growth appears and the harvest is over, you can sell lambs and goats to buy clothes and land. From the milk of the goats, you can make enough cheese to feed your family and all your servants.
Proverbs chapter 28.
Wicked people run away when no one chases them, but those who live right are as brave as lions. In time of civil war, there are many leaders, but a sensible leader restores law and order. When someone poor takes over and mistreats the poor, it's like a heavy rain destroying the crops. Lawbreakers praise criminals, but law-abiding citizens always oppose them. Criminals don't know what justice means, and all who respect the Lord understand it completely. It's better to be poor and live right than to be rich and dishonest. It makes good sense to obey the law of God, but you disgrace your parents if you make friends with worthless nobodies. If you make money by charging high interest rates, you will lose it all to someone who cares for the poor. God cannot stand the prayers of anyone who disobeys His law. By leading good people to sin, you dig a pit for yourself, but all who live right will have a bright future. The rich think highly of themselves, but anyone poor and sensible sees right through them. When an honest person wins, it's time to celebrate. When crooks are in control, it's best to hide. If you don't confess your sins, you will be a failure. But God will be merciful if you confess your sins and give them up. The Lord blesses everyone who is afraid to do evil, but if you are cruel, you will end up in trouble. A ruler who mistreats the poor is like a roaring lion or a bear hunting for food. A heartless leader is a fool, but anyone who refuses to get rich by cheating others will live a long time. Don't give help to murderers. Make them stay on the run for as long as they live. Honesty will keep you safe, but everyone who is crooked will suddenly fall. Work hard, and you will have a lot of food. Waste time, and you will have a lot of trouble. God blesses his loyal people, but punishes all who want to get rich quick. It isn't right to be unfair, but some people can be bribed with only a piece of bread. Don't be selfish and eager to get rich. You will end up worse off than you can imagine. Honest correction is appreciated more than flattery. If you cheat your parents and don't think it's wrong, you are a common thief. Selfish people cause trouble, but you will live a full life if you trust the Lord. Only fools would trust what they alone think, but if you live by wisdom, you will do all right. Giving to the poor will keep you from poverty, but if you close your eyes to their needs, everyone will curse you. When crooks are in control, everyone tries to hide, but when they lose power, good people are everywhere.
Proverbs chapter 29.
If you keep being stubborn after many warnings, you will suddenly discover you have gone too far. When justice rules a nation, everyone is glad. When injustice rules, everyone groans. If you love wisdom, your parents will be glad, but chasing after bad women will cost you everything. An honest ruler makes the nation strong. A ruler who takes bribes will bring it to ruin. Flattery is nothing less than setting a trap. Your sins will catch you, but everyone who lives right will sing and celebrate. The wicked don't care about the rights of the poor, but good people do. Sneering at others is a spark that sets a city on fire. Using good sense can put out the flames of anger. Be wise and don't sue a fool. You won't get satisfaction because all the fool will do is sneer and shout. A murderer hates everyone who is honest and lives right. Don't be a fool and quickly lose your temper. Be sensible and patient. A ruler who listens to lies will have corrupt officials. The poor and all who abuse them must each depend on God for light. Kings who are fair to the poor will rule a long time. Correct your children, and they will be wise. Children out of control disgrace their mothers. Crime increases when crooks are in power, but law-abiding citizens will see them fall. If you correct your children, they will bring you peace and happiness. Without guidance from God, law and order disappear, but God blesses everyone who obeys his law. Even when servants are smart, it takes more than words to make them obey. There is more hope for a fool than for someone who speaks without thinking. Slaves that you treat kindly from their childhood will cause you sorrow. A person with a quick temper stirs up arguments and commits a lot of sins. Too much pride brings disgrace. Humility leads to honor. If you take part in a crime, you are your worst enemy, because even under oath, you can't tell the truth. Don't fall into the trap of being a coward. Trust the Lord, and you will be safe. Many try to make friends with a ruler, but justice comes from the Lord. Good people and criminals can't stand each other.
Proverbs chapter 30.
These are the sayings and the message of 𝐂𝐤, son of 𝐥𝐢𝐜. Someone cries out to God, I am completely worn out. How can I last? I am far too stupid to be considered human. I never was wise, and I don't understand what God is like. Has anyone gone up to heaven and come back down? Has anyone grabbed hold of the wind? Has anyone wrapped up the sea or marked out boundaries for the earth? If you know of any who have done such things, then tell me their names and their children's names. Everything God says is true, and it's a shield for all who come to him for safety. Don't change what God has said. He will correct you and show that you are a liar. There are two things, Lord, I want you to do for me before I die. Make me absolutely honest and don't let me be too poor or too rich. Give me just what I need. If I have too much to eat, I might forget about you. If I don't have enough, I might steal and disgrace your name. Don't tell a slave owner something bad about one of the slaves. that slave will curse you, and you will be in trouble. Some people curse their father and even their mother. Others think they are perfect, but they are stained by sin. Some people are stuck up and act like snobs. Others are so greedy that they gobble up the poor and homeless. Greed has twins, each named "Give me." There are 3 or 4 things that are never satisfied: the world of the dead and a childless wife, the thirsty earth and a flaming fire. Don't make fun of your father or disobey your mother. Crows will peck out your eyes and buzzards will eat the rest of you. There are 3 or 4 things I cannot understand. How eagles fly so high or snakes crawl on rocks. How ships sail the ocean or people fall in love. An unfaithful wife says, sleeping with another man is as natural as eating. There are 3 or 4 things that make the earth tremble and are unbearable: a slave who becomes king, a fool who eats too much, a hateful woman who finds a husband, and a slave who takes the place of the woman who owns her. On this earth, 4 things are small but very wise: ants who seem to be feeble but store up food all summer long, badgers who seem to be weak but live among the rocks, locusts who have no king but march like an army, lizards which can be caught in your hand but sneak into palaces. 3 or 4 creatures really strut around: those fearless lions who rule the jungle, those proud roosters, those mountain goats, and those rulers who have no enemies. If you are foolishly bragging or planning something evil, then stop it now. If you churn milk, you get butter. If you pound on your nose, you get blood. And if you stay angry, you get in trouble.
Proverbs chapter 31.
These are the sayings that King Lemuel of Massa was taught by his mother.
My son Lemuel, you were born in answer to my prayers, so listen carefully. Don't waste your life chasing after women. This has ruined many kings. Kings and leaders should not get drunk or even want to drink. Drinking makes you forget your responsibilities, and you mistreat the poor. Beer and wine are only for the dying or for those who have lost all hope. Let them drink and forget how poor and miserable they feel. But you must defend those who are helpless and have no hope. Be fair and give justice to the poor and homeless. A truly good wife is the most precious treasure a man can find. Her husband depends on her, and she never lets him down. She is good to him every day of her life, and with her own hands, she gladly makes clothes. She is like a sailing ship that brings food from across the sea. She gets up before daylight to prepare food for her family and for her servants. She knows how to buy land and how to plant a vineyard, and she always works hard. She knows when to buy or sell, and she stays busy until late at night. She spins her own cloth, and she helps the poor and the needy. Her family has warm clothing, and so she doesn't worry when it snows. She does her own sewing, and everything she wears is beautiful. Her husband is a well-known and respected leader in the city. She makes clothes to sell to the shop owners. She is strong and graceful, as well as cheerful about the future. Her words are sensible, her advice is thoughtful. She takes good care of her family and is never lazy. Her children praise her, and with great pride, her husband says, "There are many good women, but you are the best." Charm can be deceiving, and beauty fades away, but a woman who honors the Lord deserves to be praised. Show her respect. Praise her in public for what she has done.